ending poverty, one of our global goals. I'm Lana, and here we are with the ELTA team. Do you remember when we talked about goals and we've mentioned the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs? I guess you do. And if you do not, go and watch our first video to know what's happening here. Anyway, here is a brief about what we talked previously. United Nations member states adopted 17 goals to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. Now, let's get started with our first goal that leaders around the world called for, which is no poverty or ending poverty. Poverty, what does this word mean? We can answer it in a simple way, like it's about people that don't have houses or can't afford food, but that's not specific actually. So, if we Google it, we will find that poverty is a state or condition in which a person or community lacks the financial resources and essentials for a minimum standard of living. No need to Google it actually, because there are many people who live and experience it, unfortunately. We may ask, why does it matter? According to the statistics of the UNDP site, for the year of 2015, more than 800 million people are still living on less than $1.25 per day, and 10% of the world's population live in extreme poverty, down from 36% in 1990. 50% of all people living in poverty are under the age of 18. 4% of the population of the Arab region was living below the international poverty line of $1.25 per day. Let's ask ourselves, why is there so much poverty in the world? Actually, poverty has many dimensions, but its causes include unemployment, social exclusion, and high vulnerability of certain populations to disasters, disease, and other phenomena which prevent them from being productive. We may ask ourselves, why should I care about other people's economic situations? There are many reasons, but in short, because as human beings, our well-being is linked to each other. Growing inequality is detrimental to economic growth and undermines social cohesion, increasing political and social tensions, and in some circumstances, driving instability and conflicts. Those were all facts, but the main goal target is that by 2030, ensure that all men and women, especially the poor and vulnerable, have equal rights to economic resources, as well as access to basic services. In the end, the last thing that I want to point out is that it's very important for every person to have their basic needs met, so they can live a happier life with dignity, and one of the economic and social rights that have been included in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other international conventions, that everyone had the right to have an adequate standard of living with human dignity, so that he and his family are provided with food, housing, clothing, medical care, and the necessary social services. Ending poverty in all its forms remains one of the greatest challenges facing humanity. Goal number 2 in our next video, so stay tuned for it. Bye!